So I'm here with my beloved, and she wanted to stay home as opposed to going out to Harlem restaurant where she knows the chef. I'm not going to mention the name, but he's also a Michelin star trained chef, and so is my beloved. So my beloved, here you are.
Hello,
and what are you doing?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I'm so delighted we're staying home tonight. So we're doing kind of a makeshift dinner because we were going to go out. And we can mention that it was to one of our favorite Harlem restaurants, Red Rooster, where I am friends with the owner, Marcus Samuelson, who is one of the most fabulous chefs in New York, if not in the country. So we will go there another time, but tonight we are going to stay home and do a lovely dinner, kind of on the fly, since we weren't going to have dinner at home.
On the fly. Let's eat flies.
We're on the fly tonight. So.
No.
We are going to do a very simple chicken, what I like to call a French onion soup chicken dinner, baked in the oven. And we are going to start that now. I'm going to use an oven-safe saute pan that can go in the oven. Now, I decided to combine truffle oil with extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin. Extra virgin olive oil. Why would anybody want to have extra virgin olive oil? Who would want an olive that was not even attracted to another olive?
So,
we'll figure that one out.
I'm going to start with a little bit of extra virgin oil here, and a little burro, a little butter.
Burro.
Let's do about 2 tablespoons of butter in here. We're going to let that melt. And I like the idea now of combining the white truffle oil with the oleo, the extra virgin, just to add a little bit of extra flavor.
Nice.
To our mix. Melt down this butter and oleo.
Yeah.
And to that, as that melts, we're going to have some sliced onions. Now this is just for 2 of us because we happen to have 1 chicken breast ready to go.
You know me, I love... Yes, breast. I'm a breast guy.
Excellent. So we're going to have 1 breast, and we have sliced it into 2, just so it's the right size and shape. We're going to add 10 sliced cloves of garlic, because I like to have 5 cloves of garlic per person. Lots of gorgeous garlic. Now this is melting down. It's going to be hot, and you want it to be very hot because you want it to be sizzling hot, so that when you put the garlic in, you're going to have an explosion of flavor.
Beautiful.
So we have this on a medium-high heat, not burning, just medium-high. Now going to add the garlic. We're going to let that briefly saute.
Okay.
We don't want it to get too brown because then it gets bitter. So we want it to just cook down enough so that it adds this beautiful garlic flavor to the mix.
Nice.
And to the onions that we're going to be making next. So we're going to let that cook for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then we're going to add 2 yellow sweet onions that have been sliced thin.
You know, I was doing this song and I just want to dance. Sorry. My happy feet are a go.
Of course.
I got invited to all these places.
Ooh.
Like Cielo, Alpha, Szymanski's, everything's, and then of course Cipriani's.
Oh, how awesome.
But I'd rather stay here with you, my love.
Beautiful.
My beloved. Oh, I smell that garlic.
Smell that? Gorgeous aroma. Wonderful for the heart.
I know.
Beautiful for the body.
I know. You know, you like people with strong hearts.
I want you to have a very strong heart. Alright, so that's cooking down. Now I'm going to add the onions. Now, I'm also going to add to this mix with all these gorgeous onions. This is only 2 onions, but it's essentially 1 onion per person. I'm going to add to this mix some broth. Now you can, of course, we don't have homemade broth tonight because this is our makeshift dinner, but we're going to add some broth that we have on hand because this is something that everyone should have on hand.
Yeah, and I do remember you telling me that every house should have at least ingredients to make
At least
10 different dishes. Figure that one out.
And that is correct. I'm going to add a tad of red wine at this point, just a little bit of red wine for flavor and color.
Yeah.
So we've added to the garlic, butter, the olive oil with truffle oil, olio vergine, the virgin oil. We have added now these gorgeous onions and a little bit of red wine for color. And these are now going to have to cook down for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And these are going to caramelize.
And Bruno's here. He's like, where's my food? But we fed him. He's getting hungry.
He wants to be part of all the videos, I see.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to have 15 minutes for these to caramelize. And I'm going to keep them at about a medium-high heat, which is what it's at right now. And just enough liquid to keep them moist and beautiful.
And see, the oven's on, unless it's 4 o'clock.
The oven is on 400 degrees right now, because once we get the onions ready in about 15 minutes, we're going to take these out of this pan. We're going to keep the pan on medium-high. We're going to add our chicken breasts, salt, pepper. I like to use herbes de Provence, which is a melange of herbs.
Melange. English.
An assortment of herbs.
Medley, a panoply, litany of flavors, a melange. Melange.
Exactly, so we're going to have that coming into play once we take the onions out, and we're going to let them rest.
Why were they working out? They're dead. How can they be resting?
So we're gonna
lying there.
We're gonna let the garlic and onions rest for a bit. Then we're gonna continue with the chicken in about 15 minutes.
All right, so we'll come right back.
Perfect.
Thank you very much. Love ya.
Perfect.
I love this song for Halloween. But anyway, we're back.
We're back.
With my beloved Laura.
We're back. So,
And
I'm just getting the salads ready, darling. So
the shallots have been ready.
now we're going to add now the chicken's ready to go. I'm going to add back all of these beautiful onions and garlic that have cooked down in red wine.
Yeah.
We're going to add a little bit of red wine around the periphery of the pan.
You like the red wine.
Just to look.
No, why do you put it on the outside, the periphery?
Because we don't want full-blown flavor of the red wine to go onto our food. We're going to now let that cook down a little bit. It's going to take all the brown, gorgeous brown particles, all this beautiful reduction. And I'm now going to add this broth.
No, he says beef broth, chicken broth.
Well, normally we would have homemade beef broth, but since we are makeshifting our dinner, we are using chicken broth. It's lighter, it'll be good anyway because we have all of this beautiful flavor from the chicken that's cooked down.
Hold on, I'm noticing you do something.
Yeah, so...
Now what are you doing with your fingers? I see your...
I am taking the herbs because these are dried herbs, not fresh. So I'm taking the herbs, I'm releasing the flavor within them from the oils from my hand.
So you're doing this with your hands, like this?
That's exactly right. So we generally do just enough to cover the top. We know that's enough then. And we release the flavor from the herbs by using our hands and the oils in them.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to make sure all of those brown drippings here are all going to go in. And because I did the red wine on the sides, that is releasing all of that gorgeous brown around the sides of the pan. Look how brown, how dark now. So we have basically created a dark broth, even though we didn't start with a beef broth. And we're going to let that just cook for a couple minutes, just another couple minutes. Get all those onions.
Are we going away again?
No, we're not going
No,
away.
please don't make me go away.
No, we're not. We're not going away. We're just about there, but I just want to make sure all of these beautiful brown drippings are going to add to
beautiful
the flavor of this.
Did you say beautiful?
Mix. I did.
Drippings?
Yeah. And that has turned this very light sauce into a beautiful brown sauce by doing that little bit of a splash at high heat of the red wine and the broth together.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to add, now that we've added our herbs de Provence, which is basically rosemary, oregano, and basil together, and thyme. So, all three.
Okay.
I am going to take a tad more of butter.
Some?
Just a little bit of butter to thicken naturally the sauce, because if we don't have to add flour, I prefer not to add flour.
Hold on. So butter actually...
butter will thicken it on its own. We don't have to necessarily make a roux. This one doesn't need to have a roux.
Okay.
And we're going to now... Any number of cheeses can work with this. Today, I am using a medley, if you will, of Parmigiana. So I'm topping all of it. I'm taking
How high is the heat? Well, it's low. So.
We're hot. We're hot right now, Stas. We're going to do the Parmigiana. I'm going to take some nice...
Are you layering your cheeses?
I am. I am doing exactly that. I'm taking mozzarella. Now, you can use Asiago. You can use whatever's on hand. If you have Swiss on hand, if you have Munster cheese on hand. We happen to have Parmigiana on hand.
How about Gouda?
Yes, we can use Gouda.
I love Gouda.
I like to use at least 3 different kinds of cheeses because it adds a beautiful mix of flavor.
Okay.
So I'm doing that, and I'm going to add some sharp cheddar. So we now have 3 kinds of cheese in this mix. Absolutely beautiful.
I'm noticing that when you put the cheeses on,
yes,
it's almost like you're painting.
Thank you. It is definitely a creation by the chef to bring this to a beautiful artistic level, and we like to do it intentionally so that the mix is consistent and that you cover the entire surface with the cheese. So now it's bubbling, it's beautiful, we have our 3 cheeses melting.
Are you going to put more cheese on top of that?
No. We are at our max of cheese. I'm going to place this oven-proof sauté pan in the oven at 400 for 10 minutes to finish it.
10 minutes.
400 degrees for 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat.
Excellent. Beautiful. Yes, I'm in love. Love potion number 9, 10, 11, 14, whatever. Here's my beloved.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm fabulous. We are ready to go. So, we have some, because we're makeshifting, we have some beautiful paella rice tonight. We'll do this from the beginning another night, but we have gorgeous paella rice, and now our entree is coming out.
Oh, wow.
Now, I put this under the broiler for about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Just so it would brown.
Oh, goodness.
Beautifully on top. And we're going to actually take this from, which I love, oven to table.
Oven to table.
So we're going from oven to table with this beautiful French onion soup chicken. We're going to serve it with this gorgeous paella rice.
Paella number rice.
That has everything in it.
And of course, there's always wine.
Of course, vino. To celebrate Halloween.
Halloween.
And we have Greek salads tonight. These beautiful heirloom tomatoes, black olives, escarole, a little Italian in there, and feta cheese from Greece.
Opa. Thank you. Thank you, my beloved.
Mwah. I love you.